everybody. Today is Thursday, May 21st, 2020. I hope you're all doing well. On your matrix this week, one of the must-dos that we asked you to do was to find a book that has a table of contents, and then it says, does it have a glossary too? So I was going to show you some examples of books that have a contents page or table of contents, and then in these books, we have an index instead of a glossary, but I'll show you what that looks like. And I know we've talked about table of contents before. So going back to our Slugs and Snails book that we read, the second page in is where the contents page is. So do you see how it gives you important words? And then it tells you the page that those important words are on. So for example, the first one is gastropods, and it says page 4. So if I turn to page 4, it talks about gastropods. So a lot of times, table of contents are in books that are nonfiction. Okay, so then if we look at the very end of the book, that's where the index page is. So an index is similar to a glossary. It tells you important words and the pages that you would find those words. So for example, if I look up, let's say garden snail, it says garden snail, page 12. And that's where we learn about garden snails. Okay, so then Alexa had a book. It's a nonfiction book. It's a National Geographic for Kids book. It's called Tiger in Trouble. And let's look at the table of contents. So if I turn, it's the second page. Hers looks like this. Okay, so let's say we wanted to read about escape from tiny cages. So I would turn to page 70, and that's where we learn about escaping from tiny cages. Okay, then let's go back to the end of the book. And here we have the index. So it looks like this. And let's say we'd like to find out about sound waves. So sound waves, it says, is on page 40. So I'm going to turn to page 40. And on this page, if I would read it, I would learn something about sound waves on that page. So if you don't want to go back and reread a whole book and you just want to go back and read about a certain topic, then you can look in either the table of contents or you can look in the index. So try to find a book at home that has a table of contents and a glossary or an index, and share it with your mom or dad or somebody at home. Okay, let's go back to Ready Freddy Homework Castles, Chapter 4. In the dark of night, we started to tiptoe down the stairs in our socks. Robbie almost stepped on the 4th step, but I grabbed him just in time and yanked him back. Hey, what are you doing? He asked. I put my finger to my lips. Shh, that was a close one. Remember, you have to skip that step. Oh, yeah, Robbie mouthed, nodding his head. We made our way down the rest of the stairs and into the kitchen. By the back door, we sat down on the floor to put on our shoes. What do you want to do when we get out there? I asked Robbie. Let's go exploring and see what kind of night creatures we can find. With these night vision goggles, I can see as well as an owl in the dark. We still have to whisper when we're outside, I said. I swear my mom can hear anything. I tried to turn the latch on the back door. Rats, I whispered. What? This latch always gets stuck. Let me try, Robbie said, pushing me out of the way. He spit into his hands and then rubbed the spit on the latch. Ew, gross. What are you doing? I'm trying to lubricate the latch. What? Could you speak English, Einstein? I'm trying to get the latch wet so it slides more easily. Here's the picture. Well then, why didn't you just say that? I said. Robbie rubbed on a little more spit. Got it, he said. The latch turned and we were finally in the backyard. Brr, it's freezing out here, I said. My teeth were chattering. How do these nocturnal animals stay warm? They have fur and they move around a lot, Robbie said. Just don't stand still and you won't be so cold. We walked to the back of the yard and searched the ground for animal tracks. Hey, Freddie, look at this, Robbie said, motioning for me to come closer. It looks like the footprints of a possum. How do you know what possum footprints look like? I asked. There's the picture. I saw them in a book once. I bet it's around here someplace. I'm going to go over there, he said, pointing at my garage, and see if it's up on the roof. While Robbie was tracking the possum, I was getting bored and my fingers were starting to freeze. I decided to keep warm by climbing the tallest tree in my yard. I know, I called to Robbie. You stay on the ground and use your goggles. I'll climb the tree and let you know if I see it from up there. You're going to climb that tree in the dark? Yeah, why not? I've done it so many times I could do it with my eyes closed. All right. As I started to climb up the trunk, I lost my grip and fell to the ground. Are you okay? Robbie whispered. Yeah, fine, I answered. It's hard to get a good grip because my hands are cold. There's the picture. Now I know why raccoons and possums have sharp claws. I started back up the tree again, and this time I reached my favorite branch and sat down. I was finally big enough to climb as high as the third branch. See anything yet? I called down to Robbie in a whisper. No, me neither. As I sat in the tree waiting for Robbie to find something, I slowly scooted my body farther out on the branch. Then I gripped the branch with the back of my knees and let go with my hands. Hey, look at me, I called to Robbie. I'm hanging upside down, just like a possum. The next thing I knew, the branch broke, and I hit the ground with a thud. Ah! Here's the picture. And that's the end of chapter 4. So tomorrow we'll have to find out what happened. Have a great day, everybody.